Hi, it's me, Ingridine FP, and we're going to just make sure that the phone is correctly placed. Okay, so hi, it's me. I am hitting two birds with one stone by doing some crochet, and I have this ball of yarn. It's going to be put over here. And I've gotten pretty far with my scarf. I mean, look at all of this long scarf. Whoops. Sorry, I moved you guys. So it's nice that Schumann and Carm, shout out to all of the lovely audience members. Audience participation is always nice to have. Who enjoy a nice crochet video and me talking you guys to sleep. So that's what this video is. But this video is also something for Super Cat and the other viewers who are both watching the crochet video and the interested in poetry and books. I have all these books. I haven't read any of them. The only one I've started reading is How to Be Human by Paul Kokoza, which is a really weird book, but I'm not really far in there. I'm also reading Sapiens, which is it's a non-fiction book, and it's about humans and like history of Homo sapiens, basically. And it's really interesting, but it's kind of, it's not really like reading a normal book, because it's kind of like a school book, or like, it's a really good book. I recommend reading it, but I'm not very far yet. I mean, I'm still in prehistoric times. But then I have all these other books, which I haven't started reading. And then there's my ADHD book. I don't know, this is, if you guys follow the ADHD, I'm still on the last chapter, but that's probably ironically because of undiagnosed ADHD that I'm not finished with it. I'm still doing my series. It's my last chapter. I don't know if I'll have to split it in 2 parts or whatever. And Les Années is what I've been reading now mostly, and I'm halfway through pretty much, but I do not recommend. I do not recommend if you're not French and if you're not 70 years old, because she puts so many references in there. But I don't really recommend that book because you'll be bored really fast, and also I can't understand how they managed to translate this book. How can you translate a book that contains so many expressions that are very, very French? So I'm French and I'm not 70 years old, but I understand some of the references, but I don't understand a lot of the references. Like, she talks about advertisements from the 50s, and I'm like, I mean, some of them, like, I remember from when I was a kid, and so I love that nostalgia that she's able to convey all these snippets of life and from that time period that she's talking about. But if you're not French and in your 70s, you won't get it. Or maybe 80s. You have to maybe be 80 years old to understand this book, which I guess a lot of Nobel Prize judges are, because she won the Nobel Prize, and Les Années is thought to be her greatest book, which I do not really agree. I preferred Mémoire de Fille, where she's like it's autobiographical, and it's about her life as a young adult woman and trying to navigate the world as such, and there's a lot of, intrigue, relatable moments in her life, and things that you didn't think that you would relate to, but like in some way you kind of can. So I enjoy those books that are kind of autobiographical, and where she talks about time and memory and such. But Les Années, the whole point of it is that you're going to be sucked into, well, the collective past. Okay, it's not about only her own past, it's about everybody's past. So there is no protagonist really in this book. It's basically just remembrances of an entire generation. So that's exciting, but I do not recommend the book. That's my review of this. Anyway, I'm here to tell you guys about a poem. And let's see. So this poem is Emily Dickinson, and I love Emily Dickinson. Hi, Emily Dickinson, up in heaven. I love you. You are the best poet ever to have reigned on the earth. I like to imagine that she's an INFP. If you've watched my video about Emily Dickinson, you can have your opinions. I know most people would agree that she's an INFJ. I have my own opinion on this. Of course, we will never know because she is long gone, R.I.P. Emily Dickinson. But I just really, her poetry is like my role, like she's my role model for poetry. When I write poetry, I'm basically trying to imitate, like a bad imitation of Emily Dickinson. I just really like how she does her poetry. And so Supercat recommended, she recommended a poem that I hadn't seen or read before, and it's called Setting Sail. And I won't be able to do crochet and read the poem at the same time, obviously. So I will have to stop and continue later. But I do want to say that this poem hits me, but for a personal reason rather than like something that I'm able to really express. So let's see, guys. So Setting Sail. Exultation is the going of an inland soul to sea, past the houses, past the headlands, into deep eternity. Bred as we among the mountains, can the sailor understand the divine intoxication of the first league out from land? And so that's Emily Dickinson. And she likes talking about the sea. She likes, like the sea. In Emily Dickinson, everything is like her own personal dictionary. So she likes talking about certain words. And her words have different symbolism behind it. And the sea for her indicates desire. It indicates passion, which it does for a lot of writers. But for her, that's especially coupled to that. And I guess that she was living inland in mountains when she grew up. I don't know exactly about her biography and such. If she grew, where she grew up and all that. But I'm guessing that she didn't live by the sea, and so it was like a mystery to her. I myself grew up by mountains. I grew up in the French Alps. So I understand her feelings entirely. Like the sea is a new, exciting unknown, an adventure. And like when you go to sea, the furthest out I've been to sea is when I have been on a boat from Sweden to Riga. And it's like it's like you're on another planet, you know, when you're so far out of sea and you don't see land anymore. And it's like, it's just you, like the water and the moon. And it's a freeing like you're free, all alone in the universe, you know, and away from everything you know. And so I really like when she talks about that. But obviously, I think that she's also thinking about like, desire and that kind of thing. She's not only thinking about like the actual setting of the sea, but since I can't really relate to that, I don't really know what to say about it. I do relate to the fact that she likes going to new places. I wouldn't say that I really love the sea as much as she does, because I'm kind of scared of the sea, you know, and I don't feel very comfortable around the sea, especially if it's going to be like a lot of sand on the beach and all that. So I'm more of a mountain person. But I can enjoy a nice seaside. Because for me, I grew up in a town where there was a mountain at every end of the street. And for a lot of people, that gives them claustrophobia. Like if you're used to like flat areas, if you're used to the sea where things are like, you can see the horizon and the sky, then like a mountain city can feel a little bit claustrophobic after well, for me, I feel protected rather than claustrophobic. When I lived in the south of Sweden for my internship, everything was so flat, and like there was almost no relief. There was like a hill, and that was like it, and the hill was kind of far away. So I didn't really I grew to like it because like you can see so much sky and sunset, and there are a lot of birds as well because it was wetlands. But I did miss the mountains. So when I came back to the mountains, I felt at home, and I felt like I could breathe, you know. I felt like I was too out in the open among the mountains, among the fields, like the never-ending fields. You're like unprotected if like a flood should come or that kind of thing. I guess that's what I'm worried about. At the same time, I mean, also going to Denmark is like super, super flat. I think that I would be also a little bit out of place if I went to a place that was like arid or like where there are no trees. So going to the north of Sweden would be strange, and going to like Arizona or like the Sahara Desert would like throw me off, I think, because it's really isolated and extreme, you know, the weather, and I like my trees, I like forests and such. So there's a lot about like the unknown versus like the excitement and the fear and all of those emotions. I think that I can feel the emotion that Emily Dickinson is putting out. I wouldn't say that this is my favorite Emily Dickinson poem though, but it's interesting. It's a little bit outside of what she usually does. She usually talks about death, and in this case, she's not really talking about death. But I do like it, as I love all of her poems. So I'm glad. I'm really happy for the recommendation, because it really, you know, I like discovering new things. I'm also discovering some new music here because Carm has introduced me to a new composer, which I'm trying to get the time to listen to between all of my crocheting and my reading. I have a hard time listening to classical music while I'm doing crochet for some reason. I listen to the INFP videos instead. I kind of like other people use true crime podcasts to relax. I use the INFP videos on the YouTube. So that was it. Tell me what you guys think. Now I'm encountering a problem with my crocheting. Do you want more crochet videos? Do you think that this is stupid? I have no idea. At least I'm getting far with my crochet by doing this. I'm killing two birds with one stone. Going to have some other videos. I'm going to do some other videos about poetry and books, but I have some other topics that are going to be important that I'll talk later about. So tell me what you guys think. Have a great day. Bye.